when we were talking yesterday, we could find our center line. Okay, that's still the same here. It's at -3, you know, in between the max and the min. Cool. That gives me my vertical shift. Okay, that's cool. My amplitude is still the distance from the center line to the bottom of the top. Okay, the period's still the same. Nothing has changed, except one thing. All the other graphs that we did yesterday all started at the y-axis and just went about their normal business. This one's different because it's shifted. Uh-oh. Alright, we got to do a phase shift. There's not even a line here. Maybe not. So that's why I wanted to touch on this one again. So if we were building this equation like we were yesterday, we're like, all right, so I know right away my vertical shift, where my center line is, that's what I start with. So not a big deal. Actually, I'm going to start doing it this way. Then, though, things might start to get a little bit different. Because I look, I'm like, okay, my amplitude is 3. We talked about how it's a cosine graph. It top of the slide, down to the bottom, back to the top. You're like, okay. This is where life starts to get a little more interesting, though. Because yesterday we just said, well, it's 2x. We're good. But we didn't take this move into consideration. So, one little piece to add, depending on how you're going to look at this. Some of you are going to be like, oh, Hardy. So if I start normally at the y-axis, I went left pi over 4. I have a phase shift. So what does that mean? Well, that means now when I get to here, instead of just doing 2x like we did yesterday, now that 2 is still going here with my x. It's just outside the parentheses because I have a phase shift. And remember, if I wanted to go left, my phase shift's in here, always the opposite of what I would think. You'd think left is negative, but it's not. That +4 signifies it. So if you're putting your equation for exactly what you see in your graph, you would have to put the phase shift in. Okay? That's one option. If you hate that option, there actually is a way to avoid it. Here's what you'd have to do. So if you want to avoid it, here is option number 2. You would start your graph from the y-axis like you normally do, but since the period is pi and the graph ends at 3 pi over 4, 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, you would just start at the y-axis and you would extend your graph to make sure that your period is still pi. By doing that, a couple of things changed, actually. Number one, does that still look like a cosine graph? Not anymore. Also, though, besides the fact that now we've extended out, a normal sine graph goes up and then down and then up. This is flipped. So here, since it flipped, my A value, not my amplitude, just the A value, is -3. So here's my normal sine graph, because that's what it looks like now. But I would multiply by -3, because I need to flip it, that's what I see. And then after I do that, I would subtract 3, because that's still my vertical shift. My center line is still at -3. So that would become -3 sine of 2x, but now there's no phase shift. So when you're looking at answers, it doesn't mean yours is wrong necessarily. It depends on where you started. But I will say this. If you're looking at one of your answers and you're going along and you have got cosine for both of these and you didn't move it, that would be a little bit different of an issue. But I want to put some of you at ease because I know some of you freak out about this stuff. Hardy, am I going to have to play this game with this stuff and the moving things around in the quiz tomorrow? Now, if you ask that, I don't think you've looked through the quiz preview yet. Because the equation stuff is not on this quiz. It's going to be on the one after. So, when you're looking through the preview, as long as you can do your regular graphs, you're going to be fine. But I wanted to mention this now and not just do it when we get to the next quiz preview when we're freaking out. So, if you run into other questions and things on the preview, I am here to take all of them on. If some of you are still working on, something from the last quiz to retake things, I'm here for that. But otherwise,